have one of those days where everything's wet, smoky, and full of screaming? Yeah, me too. Last time, Cullen and Sharael nearly die in a tunnel full of orcs, crossbows, exploding doors. Okay, not exploding doors, but still just another normal day in Sansa's undercarriage. Now Cullen's trying to play hero again, hauling Sharael, muttering oaths, and glaring at things like they're gonna jump up and bite him. Or maybe that's me. Sharael's barely conscious, I'm mostly damp, and the only warm thing around is this rather conveniently placed cauldron, all toasty warm in a big old room that even has deadbolts on the doors. What could possibly go wrong? This is the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast, Episode 5 of Season 4. What's that burnt hair smell? Something like that. Now buckle up, my crispy-fingered friends, because this time, the fire's real, the stakes are high, and someone, probably me, is about to get toasted again!
Cullen, Avon.
It's a cauldron full of hot rocks, I think. A brazier, maybe? It catches a drip of oil from the ceiling, causing a flare every few minutes. If something upstairs is leaking, this might be their way of handling it.
Why not just set out an empty keg and swap it regularly?
Too much bother. At this rate, someone would need to come down every day or so. Cumbersome. Forget once and it could be a big mess. Or maybe it's just a weird meditation room. Or it might be a trap.
I sigh. I need to see it. We can't fall for another trap.
Fall for a trap? Good one. 'Cause, you fell in that last one.
I set Sharael down on the steps. They are barely deep enough to support her. She won't let go of me. Give me a moment, I whisper. You'll be all right. Reluctantly, she releases me.
Don't leave me.
I shrug off the packs, setting them high on the dry stairs. She slumps against the wall, tipped towards the higher steps, but already she slips towards the lower. I can't leave her like this. That's when I notice it. A crossbow bolt buried in my pack. A killing shot. It must have pierced nearly through Sharael's pack before stopping in mine. I swallow hard, then lift her again, carrying her to the top of the stairs. Water drips from us both, pattering onto the stone. I set her down, her eyes fluttering closed. My chest tightens. Poison. I scan the hallway. A dozen meters ahead, another T intersection. To the right, a small, empty storage room. To the left, an open doorway. A warm, orange glow spilling out. Leaving Sharael, I move toward the light. I stop at the doorway, examining the room. Weird is right. A cauldron sits nearly central, filled to the brim with rocks. Overhead, a thick glob of oil hangs from the ceiling. I watch. The drop swells, then falls. The moment it strikes a stone, fire leaps up. I feel the heat. The oil spreads. Smoke rises, venting through holes that look to have been smashed into the ceiling. The flames last nearly 30 counts before dwindling. I step cautiously inside, testing each tile. No pitfall. No obvious traps. I reach the second door. A keyhole. A deadbolt. The latch can be locked from both sides with a key. But the bolt? I open the door carefully and peer into the long, dark passage beyond. No deadbolt on the other side. A warm haven. A way out. But something feels off. Scars on the walls. Scorch marks. I crouch, running my fingers along the floor's edge. Yes, more burn marks. I glance back at the brazier. Could the oil be a problem? Some foul ooze from the orcs? I circle the room again. Every second I waste, Sharael gets worse. DagGar? He's still staring at the brazier. Is it really just to catch dripping oil? DagGar shrugs. On my oath, I hiss in frustration. I slam the deadbolt shut on the second door and rush back to Sharael. Her skin pale, her breath shallow. Sharael, I whisper. Her eyelids flutter open. She looks at me. Then, she lurches forward and sicks up. I barely react in time, grabbing her hair, keeping it out of the way. "It's going to be all right," I murmur. "I've got you." But the words feel hollow. If she's poisoned, I have no way to help. Beyond treating black inky or a bad case of tallow leaf, I know nothing about curing poisons. And I fear this is far, far worse than those. I help her sit up, keeping her clean. Lifting her, I carry her into the room, laying her near the brazier. The stone floor is warm. I roll her onto her side, drawing her left knee forward to keep her stable, just in case. DagGar watches over her as I work at wringing out the packs. Soaked. Heavy. But we have money to replace it all, if we can get out of here. Starting with Sharael's pack, I squeeze out as much water as I can from the canvas. The pack's still heavier than I'd like, but closer to normal weight. They'll take forever to fully dry. Maybe the brazier can help. Returning to the room, my legs wobble. Exhaustion's creeping in. More than I realized. I drop the pack beside her and dig out the torn shirt, finding it packed on top. Tearing another piece, I ball it up and dab at her face.
All right, I can heal her now.
"You can?"
You betcha.
I exhale, relief surging. "Why didn't you say so earlier?" I start, but then remember. Sandra mentioned it. DagGar, too. I sigh. "Sorry."
Alrighty.
DagGar chitters. Kyrus is out, wrapped tightly in his tail. The blade flares bright orange, then dims.
Roll her onto her back.
I hesitate, then gently move her.
Probably best if you don't watch.
Oh, that catches me off guard. All right, I start to turn, then hear Sharael gasp. I glance back. DagGar grins at me, with wide, unblinking eyes. Fine. I mutter and walk into the hallway, wringing the other pack. I take the moment to flick excess water from my crossbow, testing the string. A regular string would be ruined, but this one, made from graph iron or something similar, seems stiff and sturdy as ever. Standing in the doorway, I watch DagGar and Sharael. She shifts, feeling at her side, sensing DagGar next to her. Her eyes widen, shocked. Her hand moves frantically. Blood on her fingers. "What's happening?" I ask, stepping forward. Suddenly, Sharael sits up and the world lurches. A stab of pain rips through my stomach, and for a breathless moment it feels like we're caught in an invisible grip. My stomach churns, that sick, weightless feeling, like I'm on a swing and swinging too high. DagGar floats. Sharael drifts, her hair and clothes moving as if suspended underwater. And then it ends. Violently. Sharael slams onto the floor. Her head cracks sickeningly against stone. My knees buckle at some unseen force. I crash down hard, smashing against the flagstone, my pack absorbing some of the impact, but not enough. DagGar rolls across the floor, tumbling away from Sharael. What just happened? I push up, nausea gripping my stomach at the pain in my knees. Something's wrong. The room is bright, blindingly bright, the heat unbearable. A roaring sound. I whip my head toward the brazier. Flames. Roaring, licking up the ceiling, devouring the oil that now drips faster. No, pours. I crawl to Sharael. Blood pools around her head. She's unconscious. DagGar scampers beside me. Kyrus lying a few meters away.
Now things are heating up.
DagGar announces. And for a moment I think the little creature has lost his damn mind. But then I see what he's looking at. The floor has dropped. 4 meters. The locked door and the open doorway we came through, far out of reach. I lunge to my feet, sprint to the doorway and jump, grasping for the floor above. Too high. DagGar, you're going up! I grab him without waiting for a reply and fling him toward the opening. He spreads his limbs, his tumbling flight straightening into a glide, slipping through the doorway like a bird. I'll throw the rope when you're ready. This is it. No time to question his loyalty. He could abandon us if he wanted, but I have to trust him. A flare roars from the brazier, the flames surging. The oil is streaming down now, gushing. I turn back. I go in and kick the brazier, trying to shove it out of the oil's path. Nothing. It doesn't budge. It's bolted down. I stumble, nearly falling into the fire. The heat feels like it blisters my skin. I regain my footing, darting away. I grab Sharael and drag her to the base of the doorway, leaving a trail of blood. I throw one of the packs up.
Hey!
DagGar's small voice protests. I throw the second, heavier pack, this time no complaint as it thuds into the hallway above. Sharael still has the rope tangled around her. Damn, it could have come undone so easily. I start untying it, intending to secure it properly, and I see it. The brazier is at its capacity. The cauldron overflows, a golden ring of fire blossoming like a flower born from the inferno. Oh shit. DagGar, I call, no longer caring about my volume.
Ready!
I coil the free rope and throw. It unravels, barely reaching the floor's edge, then falls back down. Shit. The heat, intense now. My clothes are still wet, but even that won't protect me for long. I coil the rope, throw again. Too short. I curse under my breath. The flames are 4 meters away. I throw. The bulk must have landed on the packs or behind them because it doesn't slip back down to us. I drag Sharael closer to the wall. Her clothes, steaming. The flames, 3 meters. I stand in front of her, shielding her from the heat as best I can. 2 meters. No more mistakes. I grip the rope, brace myself, and get ready to climb for our lives. 1 meter left, I think, as DagGar finally calls out.
Okay!
I grasp the rope and pull. It comes loose, too fast. I almost fall back into the fire.
Whew!
DagGar shouts.
Better wait a second!
On my oath, I yell back. Hurry, DagGar! The heat is unbearable now. My breastplate is scorching, and Sharael's face is flushed red, sweat dripping down her temples. The flames are nearly upon her boots. I lift her knees, trying to keep her feet out of the fire.
Alrighty!
I yank the rope taut and climb, muscles burning from exhaustion as I gain footing in the corridor. But before I can haul her up, Sharael groans, then screams. I pull using my legs to draw back the rope. Her head appears over the edge, her blonde hair with a red blossom in its midst. I heave her over the threshold, her knees curled to her chest, hands slapping frantically at her legs, smoke rising from her scorched leggings. She's still screaming as I grab the water skin from my pack. The cork must have come loose. We've lost most of the water. I pour what's left over her legs and hands. She holds her palms under the trickle, shaking from the pain.
Drag her this way!
I try to pick her up, but she's heavier now. My strength is failing. My exhaustion finally catches up with me. Staggering, I follow DagGar, stepping past our packs. We return to the staircase leading down to the water. The air is mercifully cooler here. I set her down on the flat stone atop the stairs. She's still soaked, which I think has saved her from worse burns, but she moans in pain, shivering. DagGar kneels beside her, Kyrus in his grip, the blade glowing faintly orange.
No, don't.
She murmurs, pushing weakly at him, her face sickly pale. She slumps back, her chest rising and falling in shallow breaths.
Sit and rest. This will take time.
I nod, but instead of sitting, I turn back to the room. The flames flare brighter, illuminating the entrance in flickering orange light. I grab both packs. Too tired to lift them, I drag the damp weights back toward Sharael. Halfway there, I pause. Leaving them near the fire might have dried them faster, but I can't risk losing them. When I return, DagGar has Kyrus in his tail. the blade resting against Sharael's side. Something about the scene jolts a memory. I drop the packs, stepping closer. The knife. It's inside her. Heart pounding, I stare at the glowing blade. Its tip is buried between her ribs, just a few centimeters deep, but still inside her. My instinct screams at me to stop him, to attack. But Sharael, she's calm. Her breathing is steady. DagGar pays me no mind. I force myself to think. He's helping her. He must be. I gather my wits and sit against the wall, pressing down onto my pack. Can you talk?
As you should well know.
I mean, while you're working?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Probing. Using magic to see her body, to find her troubles. Sandra said I was good at healing, but it's been a long time.
Probing?
Yeah, I'm using magic to trace her injuries. She's got burns, a serious bruise on her brain, a cracked skull, a not-so-serious leg wound, and a mild poison. I'm tracking them all down, starting the repairs.
So, Kyrus has to be inserted like that.
Because of the poison, it gives me less resistance, a stronger connection with her aura. You should rest. She'll be fine, for now.
His words aren't exactly reassuring, but what else can I do? Exhaustion drags at me. It's only been hours since we last slept, but I feel like I could collapse for days. I shift against my pack, and despite the damp, let my eyes drift shut.
Daggarth Garflin! Cullen is slumped over his backpack, fast asleep. I finished my work, but my magic is waning. Sharael is dying. Her burns, leg wound, and head injuries healed. But the poison, that's another matter. Her organs are failing, breaking down as the poison eats her from the inside out. The Orc Queen's poison doesn't just kill. It digests its prey. Sharael's breathing is shallow, her skin cold and pale. I glance at Cullen. He'll be furious when he wakes. But what can I do? As I always say, ride the wave until you hit a rock. A flickering light pulls my attention back to Sharael, and it's not the steady glow of Cullen's belt buckle. Oh, goody! I know exactly what this is. Sparks drift down from the ceiling, small at first, just flickers in the dimness. Then more and more. They gather over her body, swirling in shimmering golden light. Thousands of them. This is gonna be good. I've seen this before, of course. Empress loves making an entrance. But no, this doesn't feel like him. Sharael mentioned Corbin. I giggle, a mix of nerves and excitement bubbling into a chitter. It must be Corbin. Maybe I should say hi. What's the worst that could happen? Just a smiting. But I don't see any storm clouds. No birds. No signs of Empress's squishing and squashing tendencies. The column of light compresses, focusing, preparing. I grin ear to ear, my face hurting with it. It's not every day a god personally intervenes. I peer up into the column. Cooey! My voice echoes strangely, like I'm calling into a grand hall. My giggle turns into a full-blown chitter. It reminds me of that time in Tantui's privy. I do spend a lot of time in privies now that I think about it. I push my face further into the conduit, flashing my best winning smile. Anyone home? The raw power surges through me, setting my fur on end. Glee thrums through my bones. Then, a presence. Strong, but definitely not Empress. I bare my teeth in excitement. Oi, who's up there? Knock, knock.
Daggarth Garflin.
Who's that then? I don't recognize the voice, and doesn't sound like a minor god either.
Why do you meddle in my affairs?
I might ask you the same. Maybe I should show some respect. Oh, magnificent and powerful, I quickly add.
You have but to turn away to find my favor, Daggarth Garflin.
I'd like to, but with all due respect, I'm driven by a greater force than thee, oh great and potent one.
Greater than I.
In a manner of speaking, I just can't help myself.
Do you not fear my wrath?
Oh, most certainly. I've been smited many times. Most powerful, Wonder Bunny on high.
Then why do you persist in jest?
For the thrill of it? I reply, though I'm not sure if that's the right answer. The pause drags on, and I try my winning smile again. Mr. Great and Powerful, you still there?
You are a troublesome gnat, DagGar Garflin, but Azrael has decreed that you be spared my wrath. Be gone, and let me do my work.
I would. Oh, great and wonderful. But the truth is, I can't help it. I've always been a bit nosy. I point at the nose sticking out from my searcher's mask. Do you have a reason to be meddling in mortal affairs, oh great and powerful Oz? Not Oz, then? How about the mythical Baal? No? Maybe mighty Zeus, thunderous Thor, or courageous Corbin? I flash my winning smile again. Are you the magnificent god of skirmish? Could thee be thou? It might be my imagination, but I swear the ground rumbles. Sharael sighs, and the column of light dims, shifting to red before beginning to fade. She rolls onto her side, like she's just waking from sleep. I look down and can already see she's doing much better. Even the incision I made for probing is gone. As the last of the sparks fade, I add, "Thanks for the help, oh great and powerful!" Something thumps me on the head. Ouch! That stings! The column disappears, leaving me in the dim glow of the belt buckle and a faint smell of burnt hair. A tendril of smoke twists into the air from under my searcher's mask. Smite it again! I wince, poking at the top of my head. Feels like a sunburn. A faint clank and thud comes from the room with the cauldron. A rhythmic ticking starts up, and after a few long moments, I think the orcs must be resetting the trap. Now that would be something to watch. Or mess with. Or something. What harm could it do? Grinning, I bound down the hallway towards the noise.
Cullen, Avon. The dim light from my belt buckle feels blinding after rest. I touch it without looking, confirming it's still set to its dimmest. Sharael lies across the hallway, facing me, curled on her side with both hands tucked beneath her head like a pillow. She looks peaceful, even happy. Her long yellow hair half covers her face, a slight smile gracing her lips. DagGar must have healed her, and somehow cleaned the blood from her hair. "DagGar," I whisper, but there's no reply. I move closer to Sharael, tempted to wake her, to speak with her, but stop myself. She needs rest after all she's been through. Gently, I brush her hair back, letting my fingers graze her cheek. In the distance, I hear a faint ticking. It's coming from the direction of the cauldron room, probably where DagGar's gone. Another sound echoes beneath it, soft and persistent, like water dripping. It's faint, a background noise to the ticking, but both sounds set me on edge. Someone could find us at any moment. Then the ticking stops. The water becomes clearer, lapping and splashing, like tiny waves against stone. A sick feeling coils in my gut. I glance down the stairs, but my buckle light is too dim to reveal much. Just the faint ripple on the surface. Then a new sound, scratching on stone. It's coming from the trap room. I turn just as DagGar skids around the corner, bounding toward me, the jangle of armor close behind.
Time to go! Time to go! Time to go!
DagGar shouts, his urgency all I need to leap into action. But I'm too slow. I should have sensed something was wrong the moment DagGar appeared. An orc, fully armored, rounds the corner, charging with its sword drawn. On my oath, I'd forgotten how massive they are. The creature hesitates for half a heartbeat, surprised but doesn't slow. The razor slides from its scabbard with a ringing thrum. I rush to intercept, aiming to keep the creature away from Sharael. 2 more orcs round the corner, then 3 more. My mind races. 6. Can I fight this many at once, in such a confined space? I can't think about protecting Sharael now, not with 6 of them closing in. I clear my thoughts, pushing away the fear of life and death, and let my instincts take over. The tree of life speaks to me. I sprint forward, blocking the leading orc's swing and letting my momentum carry me toward the next 2. My backswing knocks aside a sword, and the rebound powers my strike into the second orc, leaving 3 behind me. The remaining 3 hesitate, realizing the cramped space works against them. They hold back, weapons ready, surprise flickering in their eyes as I charge full speed. A rush of air follows, and suddenly the hallway fills with light. Heat surges at my back. Ear-splitting squeals echo around me, but I don't stop. Whatever's happening behind me distracts the 3 orcs ahead. The razor plunges into the lead orc's belly. I twist, dodging a sword aimed at my head. The razor resists as I pull it free, but I use the momentum to dart behind the group, throwing my victim off balance, sending him stumbling into the 3rd orc. I don't spare a thought for the first 3 orcs. My focus is on drawing these last 3 into a fight on my terms. I round the corner and turn to face them. 2 follow, just as I'd hoped. With my recent experience fighting orcs, 2 at a time should be manageable. The first charges with an overhead blow. I block it, slamming my elbow into its breastplate. Not to injure, but to surprise. I slip past, pivoting to face the second. Its eyes widen, startled by my speed. It thrusts forward, but I don't need to block. The razor severs its sword arm cleanly. Before it can scream, I swing back, cutting deep through its breastplate. With the second orc falling, I turn to the first. It staggers, clutching its belly. No threat. But the 3rd orc is suddenly on me, swinging down from overhead, too close. I react instinctively, whipping the razor upward to block. But the orc's left knee is already driving toward me. I've seen this tactic in combat drills, and my body responds. The razor deflects the sword, while my knee and elbow come together in a partial block. The impact is brutal. I'm lifted off my feet, tumbling backward, ass over elbows, rolling to a stop on all 4s. The orc advances, but the razor is still in my grip, its lightweight a marvel. I flick my wrist, deflecting its next attack, and slash down on its forward leg. The orc squeals as the razor cleaves a gash, but it doesn't retreat. Survival burns in its eyes. The wound gapes, but my strike wasn't strong enough. I scramble to my feet, but the orc keeps pressing, forcing me back as it swings again and again, each blow barely missing. The second orc, the one clutching its belly, lumbers closer, joining the assault. Panic surges. How can I fend them both off? Then, out of nowhere, a small brown mass slams into the leg wound orc's chest.
Gonna get
DagGar. I expect him to be little more than a nuisance. But with a flash of silver, DagGar climbs the orc's side, skittering up onto its back. At first, the orc ignores him, until orange blood starts pouring from its face and neck. It lets out a guttural roar, thrashing against the wall, trying to tear DagGar off. But DagGar's already gone. The distraction buys me precious seconds. Even Belly Wound hesitates. I leap to my feet. The wounded orc swings weakly, and I knock its sword aside with both hands on the razor. The recoil fuels my next swing, cleaving deep across its neck. It collapses, gurgling. The leg wound orc smashes against the wall, orange blood smearing everywhere, still trying to dislodge DagGar, who's long since retreated. I hear something behind me. I turn, just in time to catch a curse, something that sounds a little dwarvish, before stars explode across my vision. Everything goes black. When my eyes flutter open, pain greets me. I'm stiff, sore, my body aching from lying on the cold stone floor. I push up, every muscle protesting, but nothing seems broken. One hand presses against the ground. The other grips a sword and scabbard. Not mine. I shove it aside, the metal clattering as it skids across the floor. As I stand, the dim light from my buckle reveals the bodies of 3 orcs, but I'm not holding the razor. I know I dropped it. My hand flies to my waist, empty. The scabbard's gone. My stomach lurches. The razor's been stolen. Panic takes over as I frantically search the floor, heart pounding. I check the bodies, hoping one of them lies atop the razor, but it's gone. Sharael. In my confusion, I'd forgotten about her. I sprint down the hall, rounding the corner where I left her. The stench of burnt meat hits me like a hammer. 3 smoldering bodies lie charred beyond recognition. The memory of heat and light during the battle crashes over me. Sharael lies untouched, still resting in the corridor. The battle didn't reach her. If it wasn't her that cooked these orcs, it must have been DagGar. At least she's safe. I exhale deeply, relief washing over me. Patting myself down, I take stock of what's missing. My fingers find the chain around my neck, and I pull out the amulet of the oath taken. For the first time, I realize I can use it for one of its intended purposes. I place the amulet in my palm, but something's wrong. 13 points still remain, yet the gem glows faintly, just like when I was a child, before Sharael awakened. No more waiting. I kneel beside her, gently shaking her shoulder. "Sharael," I whisper, repeating her name softly. She stirs, her eyes fluttering open. "Are you all right?" Her gaze drifts to the smoldering bodies. Her face twists in disgust. The smell, though vile, almost reminds me of a midsummer feast, faintly tainted with burning hair and leather.
DagGar?
She's not asking about his well-being. She's asking if he did this. "I think so. Are you all right?" Though she looks better than ever. There's a glow about her, vibrant, refreshed. She stands, and despite the dread tightening in my gut, I can't help but notice how striking she looks. She takes a deep breath, offering a smile.
Well, that's another crispy chapter wrapped up nicely, don't you think? I'd call it a roaring success. Emphasis on roaring! I mean, flames, gods, orcs, and not a single singed whisker this time. Disappointing, eh? Well, unless you count the smiting, which I don't. If you enjoyed listening to my delightful commentary on Cullen's never-ending bad decisions, go ahead and give this episode a rating, drop a review, or whisper my name into the nearest mirror 3 times. I'll probably hear it. And if you'd like to help keep me in sardines and sarcasm, you can find my lair over at mikecarmel.ca. That's MikeCarmel.ca. Or toss a shiny coin in our Patreon, which you'll find at patreon.com/c/Dark Razor Chronicles. I mean, you can find it at mikecarmel.ca, but if your adventure is like me and Tanbar, try my spelling first. Because let's face it, heroes need healing, demons need banishing, and I need snacks. Until next time, my crispy-fingered friends, stay curious, stay clever, and remember, if something's glowing, hissing, or whispering your name, touch it. I would. DagGar out. Bye-ya! I think I'll get a pulled pork Sammy.